Steph, Heather, and Mark, and this is Real and Raw. How's it going?
How's it going, girl?
Good. Well, it's good for you and I, but we had a little incident with Mark. So Mark, our producer, has like Fabio fucking hair. I mean, it is fabulous,
Yes.
right? Well, not past tense, but thank God, because I was trying to get the space all, zenned out for us today. I had the, mood lighting, so I lit all these candles up. Well, Mark's pretty tall, and he was sitting in a shorter chair, and like I said, he has this long locks of love, right? Well, he flips it up like fucking Fabio, and the next thing I hear is he's like, "What did he say?"
He goes, "Oh, my hair's on fire.
My hair's on fire." Just
my
like
hair's
that.
on fire.
And then he just flips it back. And Heather and I are sitting there watching smoke come all out of the back of his hair, and neither one of us move.
No,
Like,
you
what?
jumped. She got up quicker than
When
me.
she said I didn't jump. I actually waited. It was like a 15-second delay as I'm trying to process what's happening.
She jumped up, and then in my mind, I thought, well, I guess I need to get up. I was still processing because his voice, most of us would go, "Oh my God."
Right, his
was
reaction did not match what was happening, okay? So if you do not respond the way people think you're going to respond, you're not going to get response.
especially in an emergency like this.
Right. Both of us crickets sitting there, what is this, a smoke show? Yeah, straight. Anyway, all right. So we're glad that Mark
Recovered.
Yeah, he recovered. His hair is now in a bun, and he's going to put a net around it, I'm sure.
And
next
listen,
week.
if that would have happened to either you or me, especially me, it would have been devastating. Okay, with him, there's enough to spare, so
Yeah.
you can't even tell.
No, no, but the room does smell interesting.
We said a crematory.
Like a crematory up in here. Yeah. All right. So what are we talking about today? We are talking about rejection and why we tend to stay in jobs, relationships, really any scenario, right? Groups where rejection is happening and we just seem to keep going back to that well. Okay, maybe they'll take me now. Maybe they'll take me now. And we've all been guilty of doing it. It's just, why do we do it? And what the hell can we do to at least have that awareness that we're doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, there's so many different forms of or scenarios where rejection comes in. Okay, so triggers for old wounds is just a go-to, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that almost encompasses all of them, right? Because there's so many like subcategories, but it's from what I've read about rejection, just what it does physically. It hits the same part of the brain as like the physical pain receptor. So when people say I have a heartbreak or an ache, like it's legitly happening to them.
Yeah.
And that's something that is, when you start to think about it, it is physically happening to you. Like it's not even just thoughts and feelings, like that feeling of, there's just so many emotions that kind of come
what's
with
wrong with me? What's wrong with them? That kind of thing.
Yeah, am I enough? Am I lovable?
Yeah.
Like
so many
what
things.
did I do? Could I have, all these, you start to, and those are just doubting, right? Those are seeds of doubt you're starting to put into your own head about a situation where maybe the rejection was warranted, right?
Yeah, maybe.
And maybe it was. And even if you feel like it wasn't justified, you still have to take ownership. And I think that is the hardest part of rejection is taking our part in it and saying, okay, when is enough? Like, why do you keep going back to that? Well, if you're constantly getting met with this, we'll say at a job, I know people who have been at the same company for 25 years, right? And maybe they've moved up never. And you just hear
And
this,
other people passing them.
Yeah, and you just hear the same stories of, well, I got turned down again, or, this happened. And at some point you want to say, well, then go somewhere else where you're being valued or bring more value to the table, right? Because it's usually something that you have more control over.
Mm-hmm. And I think this whole experience of rejection, depending on different personalities, we stay attached to the results of that. Like, I need to fix that then. This person like cheated or left me or whatever, so I'm still attached to and I don't want to accept any responsibility.
Because then you stay that victim, and you're wallowing in that, the emotions of that rejection, but you're a victim.
How many conversations have we said amongst ourselves and a group of friends or whatever? I can't believe why is he still like thinking about her? Oh my God, look, he can do so much better, or she can do so much better. And maybe that person rejected them and they're still attached to trying to fix that or figure that out. Or what's wrong with me? Something's wrong with me then. That kind of thing.
Right.
So,
Well, I think like it's just utilizing that raw emotion of, okay, what is it you're feeling? So whenever I feel, I'm going to try to think of the last time I really, felt rejected, right? I thought, am I not enough?
yeah.
And that doesn't have anything to do with whatever that scenario was. That has everything to do with me.
Yes.
Right? And
Yeah.
why don't I? And so I think when we have this self-awareness, when we have the courage to let that pain in, so that we're able to see where it's coming from. First, you gotta recognize it. You gotta give it a name, right? And it needs to stay for a minute or two so that you can dance with it and figure out which fucking one are you? Who's got me now?
Well, I mean, because there are, good things that can come out of it. Like, for instance, if you don't put the work in, I know somebody who got kicked out of an academic club because last minute, everything was getting done last minute and everyone else was preparing and doing what they were supposed to. This one got the boot. And
I think I know who this one is.
got the boot and was like, I can't believe it. This person is this and this. And I thought, not really.
Right. That's kind of on you. But you know what?
But they're attached to that now. Like, oh,
right.
I got to get back in, or I that person that's running it. And it's just that you have to accept and take hold of that responsibility, that part of it.
Yeah. Accountability is everything. Right?
Yes. Yes.
And so I do. I feel like in that situation, she's young, and I bet that she's not going to let that happen again. It doesn't happen too many times where you feel, really?
I don't know.
Oh, geez.
We'll have to find out who this person is and check in later.
Right. So another reason that this feels so intense is that we start to grieve a future that we had kind of created.
Yes.
Right? So a lot of times we do that.
And investment. There's so much of an investment.
Yes.
Time. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're grieving something a lot of times. I think it's for me, if I can label what I'm feeling, because there's a lot of different emotions arranged in sadness, right? I would say rejection is in that sadness category, right? But there's so many different things, emotions that kind of fall into this category. If I'm able to, again, sit with it for a minute and not blame somebody else for something, not blame my job, not blame, oh, well, if I'd have gotten that raise, I could have got that car and I wouldn't have been in this accident. Whatever. Like, that's just a dumb one.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, taking some accountability. But yeah, when you start to do that, you're able to, oh my gosh, I do. You see your own patterns, right?
Yeah.
And I think rejection, again, is one of those that nobody wants it.
No, but you can either grow or you can stay, jaded by it and continue to wallow in it and chase after the thing that maybe you should grow beyond that and just learn from it. And it's exactly what you're saying. We need to learn how to sit with it and find out, because I think at any time with rejection, we have some responsibility. There's some responsibility in that on ourselves.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just your own reaction.
Yeah.
I feel like, and that to me is everything, I think, the whole idea of whatever it was that we were, in, again, whether it's a job or relationship, I think that we future tense potential, right? That's what we do.
Yeah.
We assess
people. Oh, no, it's gone. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So, the fantasy sort of crashes. And then when the fantasy crashes, for whatever that is, even if you got that job and you're like, oh, I've already,
been promoted and
promoted
travel. I'm
twice.
traveling
Yeah.
here, and that's what
Yeah.
this entails. And then you go through 12 interviews, right? Because it's
Right.
a huge.
So
it's
you're thinking you're
competitive.
already in, right? And
Yeah.
then rejection.
Yeah.
Okay. And then all of a sudden you can either say, okay, well, this wasn't for me.
Yes. Good.
Right. Well, I mean, you get to that point. There's going to be a lot of emotions, I believe, that come naturally. And
Yes.
should absolutely. We don't suppress that kind of, or I don't, that kind of stuff. But to kind of get to that point of, guess what? There's a better one out there for me, right?
That's such a healthier way of being with it.
It is.
It is.
It's. I think there's training that has to happen because the mental grooves of a lot of people are hardwired. I don't know if they're hardwired.
Well, an
are
ego.
They hardwired? Or
well,
not? No,
listen.
maybe they're not. I don't know. Is there soft wiring?
Yeah, I think there's both, but also the ego has so much to do with it.
Oh God.
Oh my God, the ego.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you hurt my ego. I invested time. How dare you? Look at you. Look at me. What are you thinking? What was he thinking? What was she thinking? But then that's the time where you have to sit back and think, what did I do to cause this rejection to happen to
right.
me?
And just what you're saying about the ego, it does not like loss.
No.
I mean, no. It like warning signs start going up in our bodies and our,
Yeah.
it does not like loss. So it looks at it as a huge form of rejection.
Yeah, and it's a steam train. It's going to roll and roll and roll unless you can kind of have a relationship, an understanding with it.
Right.
This is my ego talking, thinking I have to try to take responsibility for whatever. Maybe that person was messed up, or maybe they did contribute a lot to,
Right.
It was an unhealthy thing to begin with. But I did play a part in that myself.
Yeah, it's again the whole accountability, and I think that it shifts every situation that we're in. What is your part in this? And I know
Yeah.
I feel like we kind of reiterate that every single time, but it really I find myself not doing it at times, right? But I do it a lot more often when I'm aware of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And humans, we're just wired to want to belong.
We want to belong. We want to be accepted. We don't want to know, okay, you're flawed. You weren't good enough for me. I this or that. I kicked you out of the club. I cheated on you. I didn't pick you for the job.
I think that's one of the biggest fears for humans is being ostracized. I think I just read that somewhere.
Yeah.
I haven't researched it, but I think I read that, and that makes sense to me.
Well, because we're social creatures,
Yeah.
We want to be accepted. We can tend to be tribal,
Right.
So yes. But I just think there's a healthy way of going through that process and having some introspection. And then there's the other, my ego is controlling me and no one should reject me ever. And I'm the best at everything and everybody should want to date me and everyone should want to hire me and everyone should.
Right.
And then it's like,
Right.
you're going to learn your lesson at some point.
Yeah, well, it's going to come around for you in a different form. I also think that people, when I felt rejected a couple of times, I felt stupid.
Yeah.
We do not like to feel stupid.
No, or duped or any of that.
Yeah, exactly. So you think, well, and again, that I wouldn't call it hatred, but criticism.
Yeah.
Maybe you just need to learn a lesson.
Maybe you just need to learn a
Yeah,
lesson.
not everything needs. I think we can find peace in things that we can't always find the answer for. Oh, I like that.
And we just, that's
Yeah,
true.
right.
We have to try to find that because, listen, we're not always going to have the answers even up until our death. Maybe after that. But
Yeah,
who
I
knows?
believe after that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
We don't know. We're going to see what happens.
Yeah, so that is our take on how we see rejection, the different layers of it, how, sadness is really clumped into this, self-worth. So we hope that you learned something from us and,
Let us know if you, we always want to know if they have a topic that
please do. And comment if you think that we stayed on topic because we're trying
I think we did.
stay on topic. We have somebody
Sometimes-
that's a diehard fan, and he's like, you named the episode blank, but you talked about 6 other things, but You didn't even circle. I'm like, yeah. I think we should just be like called the tangents or something.
But the thing is, those are how real conversations go too.
Yeah,
because there are
absolutely.
side roads.
Yeah,
you know.
but we didn't even we couldn't even find the main point. Okay, I'm gonna have to tell me and you. Maybe we should at least start with the
Try to
first sentence.
stay, just stay on.
Stay in
Well,
your
listen.
lanes,
This was
ladies.
about rejection, and Mark, you were rejected by the candle today.
Yes, you were. Yeah, but
The flame rejection.
yeah, and then you're slow to help you help over here.
We rejected him
Oops,
today.
sorry. All right, have a wonderful rest of your day, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.